Kunjan ma'am is also here. Good evening and welcome to the April 2023 Autism, Face Yoga and You. Our topic is Autism and Face Yoga in talks with the Developmental Educator. Face Yoga are a series of asanas or exercises for all on the autism spectrum, caregivers, friends and family. Aiyana Face Yoga expresses the ideology of facial muscles as its functional applicability for yoga therapy in the varied causes of affected muscular neuron coordination. I'm going to reread this. So the Aiyana Face Yoga expresses the ideology rejuvenations of facial muscles as its functional applicability for yoga therapy in the varied causes of affected muscular neuron coordination. Exercises that use the 57 muscles of your face, your neck, and your scalp. Each month, we look forward to together exploring, experiencing, and participating. We will together participate in our exercise routine, and today our focus is going to be on the mouth. All you need to bring is your 57 muscles and, of course, your sunny disposition. Yes? So can we start? Let's do that. So let's start with the face yoga, yes. How do we do that? We say, yes, right? How do we do that? Once again, yes. So, yes. Some of us need a little assistance. So what are you going to do? Please take their fingers, or you place your fingers at the corners of their mouth and yes. Good job. One more time, please. How are you going to do that? Hi, Kunjan. We'll talk again. So, place their fingers at the corners of the mouth, hold the position, and what do we say? Yes. Okay. Perfect. The next one is the O. So what do we typically do? We open our mouth, fold our lips, okay? Perfect. And hold. And hold. and relax. So let's do it again. Get it right. Open your mouths. Ah. Fold your lips over your teeth. Nice and tight. And please keep breathing. And 1. And relax. Good job. Now, some of us need help. So what are we going to do? Take your fingers, place them in the corners. If they can fold their lips, wonderful. If they can't, just place your fingers or their fingers at the corners of the mouth, open them, open their lips, and try to form an O as best as you can. And hold. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Let's try this. So what you're going to do is ask them to fold. If they can't, do it for them. Okay? And hold. Widen their mouth so that we get a little more extra pressure today. And it's a little tricky, but you can get it. So again, I want you to fold their lips if they are not able to. And hold those lips like a C with your own fingers. And expand. And hold. And relax. Good job. You're doing a good job. So let's move on. The ah. So what you're going to do this time is nice, loud ah. Relax. I want you to feel the pressure on the other sides. One more time. Deep, from deep within. Ah. Perfect. Okay. Ah. And relax. One more time. Ah. If somebody needs some help, it's very simple. I want you to pull the cheek more towards the hairline, pull their jawline a little downwards, and then ask them to say, ah, and hold this position, okay? Ah. Relax. One more time. Let's do it 3 times. Up, downwards, hold, ah. So typically you're going to try and push this muscle backwards if somebody needs help, and these muscles downwards, okay? And so you're going to hold that position for them and then ask them to say, ah. Earlier, what you did is you just said, ah. So you were working these muscles. That's the only difference. It's good. It's going good. Take your palms, pat. You deserve it. Good job done. Pat, pat on your forehead, on your head, at the sides, on your eyes. Good job. Good job. Everybody's doing a great job. And now the next one. So you're going to work on looking up, look up, and open your mouth, the lower jaw. So looking up, ah, and relax. Yeah. Look up and drop your jaw. Ah. Relax. Can you feel the pressure? Can you feel the pull? I'm sure all of you can. So again, look up. Ah. Good job. If somebody needs help, what do? We'll ask them to look up and make them open their jaw and say, ah. One more time. Up, jaw, ah. Good job. Good job. Now we're going to do the smile, the E. So close your lips and E. I want you to pull the corners of your mouth to your ears. Close your mouth. E. It's funny, but it works. Trust me. So again. E. And relax. Good job. Good job. Everybody's doing great. The next, the O. Like I said, today we're only working on the mouth. So now what we're going to do is make a long O. Oh. A long O. If you want, try and stretch it up and try and stretch it down. So it's going to be O. Relax. Good job. One more time. Oh. Somebody needs help? What are you going to do? You're going to close their mouth and ask them to say an O. Oh. Good job. One more time. Take their fingers or your fingers, bring their lips together and oh. Excellent. Next, tap. Just tap, tap, tap. Awesome. Super. Doing good. And now, what do we do next? Open our mouths, fold our lower jaw in, and just fold. Yeah, all right. And relax. One more time. Ah. Hold. Hold. Nice and tight. And relax. Somebody needs help. What do? We're going to take their lower jaw, pull it down, fold the lips in. You can hold the lower lip in and just make them say, ah. Relax. Open the mouths, fold the lips in, hold the lip for them. Ah. Great job. Excellent, excellent. You're doing good. And now the last, our favorite, the balloon. So what do? We take in air and hold. And relax. One more time. Take in air. And relax. Tap. You deserve it. Nice, sharp. Feel good all right around your faces, on your hands. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now let's go and meet our guest for today. So our guest today is Miss Kunjan Sangvi. She's already there online. Hi, Kunjan. It's
Hello,
super,
good evening.
and we're very happy to have you with us. All right, read a little bit about her. So Kunjan is a developmental educator working in this field for the last 14 years. At her center, ComUniverse, autism and related conditions are addressed. It's a very interesting forte focal point. Now, Kunjan, we're happy to have you. So
Yes, I'm happy to have you. Thank you, Minal.
My pleasure. So Kunjan, the first question which everybody will want to know is why? How did you get in developmental education? Why? What? Tell us.
Well, I was very young. I was in college, and I had my cousin brother's son has autism, and at 20 years back, that is, that time there were not too many therapists, and my sister-in-law needed help, and I was a young girl, and I loved teaching, so she's like, "Why don't you just help me?" So I started taking the child. He was around 2.5, 3 years old at that point, and I started taking him to all the therapists And the therapists were very amazed as to how I was, playing with him and teaching him, and I was learning from them and working with him. So they thought I was really very natural at it, and they said, why don't you try and do a professional course so you can help more kids? And that's how I got into this field, thanks to that child. And now he's around 22, 23 years old.
Oh wow,
So
that's quite a milestone. And more than anything else, you're enjoying each second. Whenever I talk to you, whenever I interface with you, you are actually enjoying what you're doing, and no regrets, right?
not at
Totally,
all.
I can
I
see
love
that.
I love it. So
Great. So now that here's the next question: How
please
do
tell
you
me.
how do you or your team with you tailor the programs for to suit children with autism? Because
Correct.
I each age or each spectrum of depth would be different, right? That you would have
Yes.
to work around. So could you please share your experience?
Surely. So basically, it depends upon the age of the child. The earlier they come, it is much more effective. So we first initially, if the child is really very small towards the preschool level or little younger, then what we try and do is we try and settle, we assess them. We have tools through which we assess them. So there's a team, there's an occupational therapist, a speech therapist, and then there it's me. So we assess them on a developmental scale. There are some 8 domains, plus there's a sensory profile. So first we see whether the child, how much is the child sitting, how much joint attention. So basically these are the skills which require for them to go to a mainstream setup. If we don't check that, then we have a child who goes to preschool who you watch more going around or not listening to the teacher. This is how they come across. So these are the kind of red flags where teachers will tell the parents, and the parents will come to us and say, listen, my child is not sitting in the classroom, is not taking interest in activities overall. Some high interest activities they participate in, and that's how they come in. And then we assess them and we see if the child is at what level. Is there PLS, that is pre-learning skill, the requisite skills for a classroom, like sitting, looking, joint attention, compliance, that is even activities which are not of high interest, maybe whatever the teacher has decided for that moment, to continue sitting through that, able to have basic communication in place, asking for help, if he wants to go to the washroom. Okay, this is at a very basic level. Then obviously we have older children who come in, before preteens, and probably based upon the severity and their challenges, mainly they come in with a lot of communication challenges, or their sensory issues are not settled. Every child is different. Their gross motor, fine motor, it all depends upon all of that. The
And
expressive language, the oral sensory issues. There are lots
okay,
of things. That's what you are working towards. You are strengthening their muscles. Correct.
right. And
So,
and and you peg it, and then you decide what is the program, and it's tailored,
correct.
right? Tailored,
Yes, it's
basically,
tailored as per the child. Then the
right.
older they get, yeah, the older they get, then they have a lot of communication challenges. Then some of them need something called AAC. So that is alternative augmentative communication. So there are different things, like probably nowadays there is an app called Avas, which you download in a phone or an iPad, and a lot of our kids are able to tell the basic functions of communication, like where they want to go, what they want to eat, and every different category they're able to
Right,
understand, and they do
right.
it.
Okay, very interesting. I mean, and it's the sequencing that you just discussed and talked about. Then you did touch communication, but I'll still ask you your experience, your expertise with respect to problems communicating, and also trouble developing social skills. So how
Correct.
does it work? And could you share
So,
a little
yeah,
about that?
surely. Yeah. So as a child grows up, many of the children do land up learning a lot of communication. So they have their vocabulary and they have kind of the understanding as per their peers. But they have something called we have a skill. All of us have pragmatic skills. It's like we already have a tool within ourselves to decode what the other person is saying. We know when to start the conversation. We know how to stop. We know how to gauge body language. We know how, what is the context of the topic. Nobody will say, I'm talking about the garden, or I went to Singapore for a trip, or I went to Hanging Garden. They will just say, oh, I went to this place, and then you will start having a conversation. Then you'll correlate it to something. So many of our children, although they have that language skill, they are not able to generalize. They are not able to understand the context in which the other person may put. So they may understand it in patches. So therefore, this is where social communication work happens at for higher level children. So we work towards something like towards perspective taking, because again, to put yourself in another person's shoe, they find it difficult. Then there is something called social cognitive skills, to understand the context of that situation. Then we have something called flexible thinking. That's high level cognitive work. So because what happens as they grow older, they go to school. In school, a lot of many children bully, many children will, treat you ill. So many of them can't understand what is happening to them. Sometimes they overreact, sometimes they don't react. So we are supposed to give them flexible thinking, like it is okay sometimes if the person will say something against you, how do you deal with that person, what are you supposed to say, and if you don't know what to say, how can you troubleshoot. So this is where the social cognitive work is very important, so that they can help themselves to have a more healthy interaction with their peers in school.
And this will be something that you walk through every day, or it's a session that takes place once a week, or it's not something that you require to do regularly, or it depends on the case.
No, it all depends, because see, many of our children, we do offline, we do online. So the older kids are able to do it online because they understand what we are saying. And, we actually have 45 minutes how you and I are talking. There'll be lots and lots of conversations. She will say that, this girl spoke to me very badly. Or this right now only I spoke to one girl. She is 13 years old. She has her own teenage issues with her mother. So, and she has a 3-year-old sister. So she's like, I'm really very angry with my mother. So I asked her why. So she's like, she is asking me to make my sister sleep, and it's very difficult for me to make my younger sister sleep. Why does my mother not understand? And things like this.
Very interesting. So, and lastly, Kunjan, is there anything else you'd like to add, share, tell?
Well, no, it was very interesting that to be a part of your session.
My
That
pleasure.
yeah, because you're the way for face yoga. Probably if there's an older kid who does understand your instructions, she will really benefit from it, or he will really benefit from it, because you're working towards the oral
Uh,
muscles, right? And you can specify more over it.
right, absolutely. So, with that, I will say thank you very much, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank
And
you, Minal Thai.
thank
Thanks a
you.
lot
And
for inviting.
we would like more of your inputs on a later date. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you.
We are going to close today's session. Thank you very much.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.